Hello and welcome to Warp Factor Unknown, a Star Trek rewatch podcast where we select a random episode of Star Trek from all the various Star Trek shows, give it a rewatch, and then we come here, have a talk about it, have a little chat. My name's Dan and I'm joined by my co-host Tom. The episode which was selected for this rewatch was Deep Space Nine's episode Crossover from Season 2. Right, let's just crack into it and start talking about Crossover. I know I watched it a couple times. Tom, you managed to watch it once. Perfectly fine. Do you want to start off with some talking points? I've got some notes here. How do you want to crack on?
Yeah. So this episode, Crossover, which we're watching tonight, is one of those that I did watch many years ago at college. And I remember really liking it back then. I wasn't sure, watching it so many years later, as we've done today, if I'd still enjoy it. And I'm going to talk about that towards the end, the sort of the pros and cons and how I think it's different now from how I viewed it back at college. So it's going to be interesting to go over some of these parts of the episode, like from the characters, from the acting, and just the general atmosphere of this mirror universe, which I think will be quite interesting to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to talk a little bit about DS9 in general, because we might not hit DS9 again, for another 6 episodes of our podcast or whatever. We might, the next 9 episodes might all just be Next Generation, so we might not get a chance to come back to DS9. So I just want to talk a little bit about kind of like the production, a little bit about just things I just love in general about DS9, or things I like. I've not got too many things I want to talk about, but did you know that the Promenade set on DS9 is the largest permanent Star Trek set there's ever been?
I did not.
No, isn't that great? Because I know this episode didn't have too much featuring of the Promenade, people walking over those gantries and stuff. But yeah, it's huge. It's a fantastic set. It's got so much detail, the little shops and the replimat and stuff. It's got a little Bajoran shrine. The DS9 set is chef's kiss. I do like that.
I guess it's because like all the other Star Treks around, especially around that time, you had like Next Gen, you had Voyager. They were traveling to different planets. They were traveling so many places. Whereas DS9 is quite sort of set in one place. So it makes sense to have this massive hub, which is used in so many of the episodes. Which, I can fully.
I think it really helps it create like a sense of like community and what have you is going on the station. And sort of on that same theme of me loving the set, my favourite sort of detail of the DS9 set is the doors, like the airlock doors, where these giant cogs and have these massive arms. Yeah. And I just love seeing them roll out every single time. It's just a simple pleasure. I'm like, it's just so, I love it. Those doors I could talk about for ages. I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Also, one of those other little details I like on the DS9 set. Do you know the coffee mug they have, that Ractigino mug that you use, like a little pyramid thing? You can buy that.
No, I didn't.
You didn't? No. Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's called a Hot Joe mug. Yeah, it's like a travel mug. It has like a lid and stuff. But you can only get them in America. Yeah. So I can't buy one. And I look on eBay occasionally, but they're not cheap to import over. So I've not bought one. But
people in the UK are missing a trick there, because anyone that's watched.
Yeah, exactly. So if you need to buy me a Christmas gift, then that's what you want to get me, Tom. Yeah, definitely.
Ractigino mug, fantastic. I'll look into that.
Yeah. But there's like those little sort of details that I like on the DS9 set. Yeah. I'm sure I've got others for the other various shows, but we'll see if we get to that. Just finally on like those DS9 things, obviously they have to redress obviously all for this mirror universe stuff. My favourite part, the redress they did, they had they're everywhere. They're on like badges, on flags and banners. The Alliance logo. Yes. Did you notice that? It was like the big Cardassian logo, and then sort of put in the bottom there was the Klingon logo as well. Loved it. It just looked really good. It worked so well, and it was everywhere throughout the whole set. Loved it.
So I have to admit, I didn't notice the logo. We're just looking into it now on Google Images, and I can see it's just a fantastic logo, isn't it? With the Cardassian on top and the Klingon below, and it really sort of gives you that impression you are in this strange reality now where everything's different.
It's those little details.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just gonna skip ahead just a little bit to a few of my notes. Even like things like costumes. Obviously, people like Garrick are wearing the classic Cardassian uniform. People like Quark. Normally in DS9, he's got these fabulous jackets and shirts he wears. They're all very colourful and extravagant. But in this one, his clothes were very plain. And he mentions about, I hope the other Quark is more profitable than I am. And so you get the impression that this Quark is, a bit more hard up. So yeah, so those little tiny details they sort of redid and redressed to sort of really sell this crossover.
Yeah. And I really liked Quark in this episode. I thought he was so good. The fact that he comes across as, you still think, has he got some of that from the normal universe mentality of Quark? And then you think, no, actually seems like quite a nice guy.
He does seem to have like more morals, you could say.
Yeah.
But also it's sort of still got that sort of Ferengi business behind it as well. Like there's opportunity in sending people to the other universe. But yeah, he does seem to care more. I wonder if that's because he has less actual opportunity, he has less chance of profit.
Because when they said to him about Gold Press Platinum, he said, what is this? What's Gold Press Platinum? And
it makes you wonder, like, do they have money in the mirror universe? Or do they have a different kind of money?
So when it was found out that Quark was sneaking them off the station, I initially thought, he's doing this for business reasons, and it's sort of, he's very similar to the Quark in the other reality. But when you think about it, if he doesn't know what Latinum is, and there's no money involved, is he doing it purely because he's a good person?
Well, that's I mean, like, there could still be money, because later on Cisco mentions about collecting duties for the Intendant on his sort of piracy missions. But those duties haven't got to be cash, they could just be supplies. Maybe the Alliance is also a post-scarcity society. Who knows? Just sort of, I want to talk a little bit about the intro scene, the opening scene before the credits. I really like that scene with Kira and Bashir in the runabout and the opening log. And the very first thing that I picked up was they've been to New Bajor, setting up a hospital. And this is in the Gamma Quadrant, so we've gone through the wormhole and set up a new colony. And I'm thinking, first of all, New Bajor is a terrible name. That is not very creative or inventive. Like, surely the writers could have done better than New Bajor.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know how familiar you are with the DS9 history. I think you're pretty good with it. But you know that Bajor was occupied by the Cardassians for like 60 years. And they've only recently come out of that, maybe like 5 years ago. And you think, surely they've got enough problems at home to rebuild their own society. Should they be using valuable resources, establishing new colonies in the Gamma Quadrant? It just seemed a little much to start with.
It does. Talking about the scene at the beginning on the runabout, I love that scene. I think it just sets everything up so perfectly. The fact that Kira is just trying to get by without Bashir talking. She doesn't want music. She just wants to be left on her own in peace.
We've all been there, like, you're with somebody, family or friend, on the bus or in the car. I just want to get home.
Yeah. And then there he is doing, like, breathing exercises or, just talking over things, just being annoying, basically.
Yeah, he is.
And it's just so good to see that sort of interaction between them, because it sets up the rest of the episode then quite well. They've gone into this, as he says, he's got close to Miles, but him and Kira have always had a bit of distance between them. I think this experience is what brings them a bit closer together.
Yeah, I love that. You're exactly right. In that shuttle, he's quite insufferable. He's not being a jerk.
Absolutely.
He's just being a bit annoying. Because we mentioned in the last episode about how is he still that sort of sexist kind of guy in season 2, and he's not. And you can see that this episode he really isn't being like sort of creepy Bashir, but he's still like eager and quite young and inexperienced. He's not hasn't got many social graces. And I love the whole thing with the meditation. I don't suppose. Do you fancy doing the bellows breath? Do you want to give it a go?
Oh, definitely. All right, here we go. That's it.
Maybe we should listen to the music. Fantastic, perfect. And then just very finally on that intro scene, I like the when they're talking about burying the hatchet, and Kira's like, what did he say? What was the quote? Something like burying the hatchet, and it means resolving past conflicts. And she's like,
and new ones,
making new ones. I love that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
That's a great line. I love that.
So from the shuttle, they go through the wormhole, and they arrive in what they think is a station. Of course, they get there, and it's completely changed. And you get the impression, even before anyone says anything, that this is something weird is going on. Then the first person they meet, who is the first person they meet?
They meet Garrick first.
Garrick,
and he's wearing his Cardassian uniform.
That's right.
And he's like, they're imposters.
Yeah. And just the way he talks, he's so different from this, meek and mild Taylor we're so used to.
Oh yeah, a plain, simple Taylor Garrick.
Simple Taylor Garrick. So yeah, you can tell straight away. That's fantastic acting, I think. But he just comes across as this battle-hardened, nasty character, which you can tell from straight off. So after that, on the station, they meet Kira, don't they? And she...
Oh, yeah, the mirror Kira, or the Intendant.
The Intendant. Yeah. Did they meet anyone else before that? I can't remember. So
no, they meet those two in the corridor.
Garrick
then
first.
Bashir gets sent to the mines, and Kira goes with the Intendant to the ready room.
That's right. So yeah, and then when they see Kira as well, and I just love the fact they're looking at each other. And I was looking to think like how obviously there's a way of doing it with like split screens and things like that, but I was almost looking at their eyes, thinking, are they looking at each other, or are they looking slightly off?
Yeah, like
a few angles.
Did they have like a stand-in actor who they could talk to?
Yeah.
And then, composite the shot, however they
That's
do
right.
it. Yeah,
or was it like a tennis ball hanging down they were talking to?
Yeah, with like little googly eyes on them.
With googly eyes. And yeah, I just thought he was clever. And the more I looked, I thought, no, I can sort of, if I didn't believe these two were the same people, I could think of it as an actual conversation between two people. So they did very well there. I just love the sort of, I guess it's like the chemistry between the two, even though obviously they're the same
They were
person.
just trying to like size each other up, weren't they?
Yeah, you could tell that Mirror Kira really likes normal Kira. Not so much the other way. In fact, I think later in the episode, normal Kira says, you frighten me. And I think that's how I would surmise that Mirror Kira character, is that she's very uneasy to watch and very unpredictable, and you don't know what she's going to do at any time. Is she going to go off on a tangent?
Love you or kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their relationship, when they go to what is Cisco's office, the Intendant asks Kira, have you heard of Kirk? I love when she says no. I really like that regular Kira has not heard of Kirk.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. She has been a resistance fighter for most of her life, and Bajor has not been part of the Federation. Why would she know Federation heroes? I love that. And it's also a clever way just to get that bit of exposition out the way, bit explaining what happened with Kirk and Spock in the original series. But that did sort of get me thinking a little bit. So I don't know how much you know. I know you've not seen the original crossover episode in the original series, but the Intendant explains it quite well, that Kirk comes over, ends up convincing evil Spock to be less evil, and then reforms the Federation, the Terran Empire, into something good. But then that happens, and then it falls to evil. And you think, okay, well, why? Why did that have to happen? And at the end of this episode, there's another rebellion starts, again, from the Terrans, and the impression you get, they're going to go sort of make a grassroots rebellion and going to fight the Alliance, and maybe they're going to, beat them and create a bit of equality and stuff. But then you think, well, are they going to lose again? Can good ever win in this universe, or will evil always prevail? I don't know. Did you get anything from that?
No, good points. I mean, what you mentioned about Kirk, I was initially thinking, that's strange, Kirk, quite a famous character in that universe, in that dimension. And so I was thinking that, why did they miss that out? As something that's going to be revealed later. But as you say, Kira, resistance fighter, she's not going to know about who to us is a famous character, and to all the other people at Starfleet, they obviously all know about Kirk. Yeah, and then of course what happens after Kira? You then meet Odo, and Odo in this episode, I think he's probably my least favourite character in the episode, but also the person that I think the acting is just brilliant, and it's just such this force of he's obviously still a shapeshifter in this dimension. Oh, it's not dimension, is it?
Dimension, universe, galaxy.
So he's obviously still a shapeshifter in this dimension, but he's almost comes across as this hard sort of, slave driver who loves his job, just like in the normal universe, in the normal dimension, he loves his role as sort of the
policeman, the constable,
Yeah, so...
I love that scene as well, because I like how Bashir gets there, and he's sort of arrogant, and he's like, what's your designation? I haven't got a designation, he's slaps him, and I like how Bashir just gets more and more arrogant, and it's not even arrogance, it's kind of like a defiance. Yeah, like he unlike the other Terrans, like Miles, he's not been broken.
Yeah.
But whereas all the other Terrans that they have. So I really like how Bashir's there and he gets slapped around a little bit.
Definitely, It's quite sad, especially after the shuttle scene at the beginning. That's quite satisfying to see. I think it could have been a bit more of that, but it was fine. Yeah. It was just enough scenes. But I think that bit is one of my favourite scenes as well, when he goes, "I don't have a designation, sir," and it's just like. Odo's great in that, and it's just nice to see that even though his defiance, he still gets put to work in the mines. Makes no difference to Odo. I think he enjoys a bit of a power trip he has slapping him around, but it was going to happen either way. He's going to be sent to these mines, and he's going to have to work his ass off. And
I really like what Kira was saying back with the Intendant. She's like, he's entitled, spoiled Terran. Let him work in the mines. You could see how the other half live, and I think that's a good good things that happen to all of our characters. But watching a TV show, your characters have to face trials and do things they wouldn't expect to be doing. So having Dr. Bashir, work in the mines or see combat or whatever he does, throughout DS9, I think it sort of helps with that character growth.
They didn't believe him that he was a doctor, or at least Odo didn't, which makes you think, doctors on that ship.
Well, no Terran doctors.
No Terran doctors?
No, only Cardassian doctors.
Yes.
I don't think I'd want to see a Cardassian doctor.
No, I can imagine all being like the Cardassian in that Four Lights episode, Next Gen.
Oh, man, yeah.
So they'd be quite brutal, I would imagine. Maybe not a good bedside manner.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe we didn't see a Cardassian doctor.
No, I think I'd rather have a Cardassian doctor than a Klingon doctor.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like, your arm's broken. He just rips it off. Just with bare hands, just tears your arm off.
Yeah, it was purely the food alone.
The Gark, yeah.
So, yes.
Do you want to have a little chat about the Sisko and when he gets called to go see the Intendant? They're in the bar and he's sort of spoken with our Kira and then he gets a call and he's like, okay, I'm on my way sort of thing. But you sort of see in his face that he doesn't want to go. He knows what's going to happen. He doesn't want to go. But then he smiles. He's putting on an act and he sort of hints that, yes, he really is as much a slave in this as anyone else.
Yeah, he obviously gets special treatment, doesn't he, from giving this Kira what she wants, which I think is
sex
and
duties,
slave and duties. Yes, yeah. So, but you can just see little hints of, oh no, I'm still aware that I'm under her thumb. I've got to do exactly what she wants. But he's also got this power above other Terrans because of what he gives to her. Yeah,
and then sort of the next scene is when our Kira go to see the Intendant and Sisko's there. She's having a bath and Sisko's eating something off his knife. And, the impression you get is that, they've had sex. And our Kira, I could just imagine her going, Sisko, really? I wonder, is she disgusted by the idea? Yeah. Curious? Who knows? When she goes back, when she sees Sisko, she'll be like...
Will she now look at him in a different light completely?
Yeah. It's like, me and the emissary... Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. But that scene's also great. And you mentioned earlier about, when they have the, I say with two actresses, it's the same actress, not a visitor. Both on screen at the same time and they're locking eyes. And in that scene, a hand comes up and grabs Kira's chin. And to me, I just couldn't help. It's not her hand. It just doesn't look like her hand. It just looks like an extra from underneath. It's crouched down. It's reached up. Yeah. I just couldn't not see it.
I'll have to rewatch that.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it really is her hand.
Maybe she actually reached around and out camera and then herself, rather than have someone else do it. So.
Maybe I don't know, but it was really good.
But it'd be quite funny to see like a hairy arm reach out, and then it's like
Garrick's plan. Talk to me about Garrick's plan. You did a whole one about replacing the Intendant.
Yeah.
She will be gone. Talk to me. I love that scene so much.
I thought that was a well thought out plan. And I also thought, he's only made this plan now to rebel because he wants to take over. And it's only because they've arrived on the station. This is his first attempt at something. It was great because it was so well thought out. He had everything in place. The current Kira will be gone. and this normal, well, from our perspective, Kira will take a position, and then after about a month, promote Garrick to her position, or she goes off on her pa, or exploring her pa.
Explores her pa.
And then rescue Bashir and go off. And I thought, yeah, okay, so this is only he's only just thought about this as a potential plan to elevate himself. But then you start hearing from Cisco, like, no, he's made many attempts at this in the past. I thought that was
I like that little detail. I mean, I'm going to disagree. I don't think that plan was good at all.
No?
I think it was not... Well, okay, it's a good plan, and on paper, when you first hear it, it sounds like a good plan that could work. But I don't think that our Kira could have pulled it off long enough. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't think she could play the part well enough, because the Mirror Universe Kira, the Intendant, she's kind of a psychopath. She has people killed. She does all these, I don't know. She just oozes this kind of character that she has.
Yeah.
Which I don't think our Kira could pull off.
True. I mean, she pulled it off for about 10 seconds when the Klingons came into the shuttle, didn't they?
Yeah.
Only because she says, she shouts at them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, and they take her on. But I think even then they were sort of suspecting after a bit that slightly different.
Yeah, because she'd have to hide herself away, being in her quarters, and not see as many people. I think it would just raise too many suspicions. And good plan. I think if it played out how Garrick thought it was going to play out, I think it would
not work.
Yeah, I don't think it'd work. Yeah. And to be fair, would you trust him? I wouldn't trust him, because if he's willing to kill the Intendant, why wouldn't he just kill Kira? If anything, killing Kira will be easier than killing the Intendant.
Yes. Yeah, no, true. So I would not trust him as far as I could throw him. But I guess at that moment, it seemed quite appealing, because that was their way out, basically. Yeah.
And that scene was so well acted. I like everything that I don't know what the actor. Do you know what the actor's name is for Garrick?
Garrick. No.
That's fine. Well, the acting from Garrick was amazing. And at the very end, he's like, "It will be your doctor friend who is gone." I love it.
Yeah.
He just that entire scene, the entire time he's talking, love it. I could watch the Garrick character all day. Love that.
So the actor that plays Garrick is actually Andrew Robinson.
Andrew Robinson, I did know that.
Yes.
I've seen the credits for DS9 a few times now.
Just a random bit of trivia I pick up as I watch it. Very good names.
Yeah, they really just jump out to you. Yeah. In the bar scene, in one of the bar scenes, when that human bumps into the Klingon and they're going to fight and they don't quite fight, that Klingon spat in his face. Oh my god, what a gob. What an absolute... Yeah. That was a splat and a half. That was... Yeah. I'm like, did the actor playing the Klingon have some extra fake spit in his mouth to throw out at him, or is that just a natural how much he can spit on a guy's face?
I would imagine that scene must have taken a few takes. So maybe through practice...
If someone spat in your face, you in an acting setting, you just laugh. It'd be so funny to keep a straight face.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess after 20 or 30 takes, you'd probably
I want to go home now.
And you would look exactly how that guy looked being spat in the face in real life. But yeah, for myself, if I was to do that, I was an actor, and I would have a McDonald's milkshake or a thick drink of some sort to make sure you got the accurate amount needed to be visible on camera, which this one certainly was.
Yeah. Very visible.
Good aim, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so too, yeah.
But no, I like that scene as well, because he's this guy obviously wants to fight the Klingon. The Klingon. But he's looking to Cisco. So it shows, even though Cisco does come across as a bit of an arse in this episode, he still has got the respect of his men.
Yeah, he plays that pirate quite well.
He does.
We assume he's a pirate. He said he gets duties.
Yeah, so he looks across and Cisco said, no, don't do it. So he knows this would start a war, basically, while they're to attack the Klingon. He kind of reminds me a bit, Cisco in this episode, of Yandu from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm like, it's just that sort of, he's not respected by everyone, but his men and him look up to him and respect him. So.
Yeah, that classic sort of pirate sort of story character, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And also in the things of which were gross but also awesome, when Odo gets shot, splat.
Yeah.
Such the biggest splat.
Absolutely.
It's explosion. I mean, I love that little bit because I liked how Bashir just jumped on the opportunity and he was brutal. Odo is his friend. I know this Odo is evil and is tapping around a little bit, but surely he knows Odo. It's we have a little bit of hesitation about shooting someone he knows, but no. Pop, splat, bang.
But I have always wondered what would happen if you shot a changeling. And Bashir might have done too. So even though Odo is his friend, he's now got this opportunity. And this might have been what he was thinking all along. I've always wondered what it'd be like to shoot Odo. And, he went and he did it.
Now he knows.
That is a result. And what a result.
Yeah,
He can now...
the walls.
So he can now, he might keep a secret from the Odo when he goes back and say, I shot your mirror self, and just to warn you, it's not pleasant. Or he might just keep it to himself and just know, I don't need to think about this anymore.
Yeah, that's great. I would just love to hear the conversation that they go back and they're giving their reports. And Odo's like, wait, you shot me? Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
You exploded, Odo. Yeah,
you've got some splatter on you, my friend.
In fact, he could be called Explodo. That's terrible.
That's good.
But I thought that was a good scene.
Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that too. Okay. Just after
You could say Explodo.
Oh, good. I need a minute.
That's stupid pun. Oh, the worst.
So after Odo got Explodo, and then Bashir, he's made his escape and he's going through the Jeffries tubes, and he finds O'Brien thinking about trying to stop this thorium leak. And they have a little conversation, and he's like, "Oh, can I come with you?" And Bashir says, "I don't know if Starfleet would be happy about this." And I thought, well, no, I don't think they would. But we've got a prime directive, and there's a temporal prime directive. Is there a inter-universe directive? And if there isn't, if you brought O'Brien back, would Starfleet make one?
Yes, that's a good point. I mean, I like that a bit as well, because you expect Bashir, he's a doctor, to be like, I can't take you back. Something about, having two exact people living in the same universe.
Like in Time Cop.
Yeah,
they can't share the same space.
They can't share it. What you do could...
Yeah, he'll take O'Brien back, and then we'll get a Van Damme movie.
Yeah.
That he'll just come and do the split, and he'll keep the two O'Briens apart with his two legs.
That's it, yeah. So it would just be, you walk through the hallway, you'd see probably both of them.
Both Van Dammes?
But no. Both Bashirs doing the splits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that, but I like that bit, and the fact that... Does he come back with them in the end?
No, he doesn't. He ends up sticking around and going with Cisco.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that scene's great because, any other character might have tried to convince, no, Smiley O'Brien, you can't come with me. It just wouldn't work. I like how he's like, no, yeah, sure, come on. Mm. That's kind of that sort of compassionate doctor thing coming out. Yeah. Which you would hope all of our other characters would have as well. But yeah, I like that. Imagine if we go back to our universe and we have two O'Briens. We'll exclude the Van Damme thing, but he goes back and sees Keiko. He's like, "Hi, just now two of me."
Yeah. Well, that's true. But no, that would be difficult to explain. And also, they could sort of make a game of it and be like, "I am going to pretend I am the other Bashir," and the maybe evil Bashir could, because technically it's not cheating. I mean, you're cheating
with yourself.
Yeah. So
I mean, okay. Would you like to have an exact copy of you? Like the same thoughts, feelings, everything's like two Toms. Would you want two Toms?
Probably not.
Why?
I think it's because I know myself too well. And there are always parts of yourself that, you not anything secret or skeletons in the closet or anything like that, but you just like to keep to yourself. And to have someone that knows that, but that it's a weird thing.
Sort of like highlight those negative aspects that everybody has.
He's talking to me, I don't really feel like talking about this now, because I'm going to have different, I might have a headache that day, he might not, or...
That's a good point, yeah.
I might be feeling a certain way, like, I just don't want to talk right now, and the other one's talking, because sometimes I tend to talk a lot, but not all the time, so...
But then, on the other side of the coin, the positives of having an extra you would be like, okay, I don't want to go to work today. You go to work this week, I'll take a week off. Then I'll do a week, and you have a week off. We'll, swap. So you could really sort of play the system. Yeah. That could be quite handy.
That is definitely good.
Or I don't want to go hang out with my family today, or my friends. You go,
Yeah.
I'll get the next one. But
Yeah, that's good. There's actually a Calvin and Hobbes, the comic. There's one, I can't remember what year it's from, but he does that exact thing. He has his own clone go to school for him. And I think the clone, he thinks, this is a great idea. The clone actually ends up getting in more trouble than he normally does at school. And it's really good.
Yeah, that's it. If you sent your clone to work or school, well, you've really got to trust yourself not to be a dick to yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Would I trust? I think I would trust myself not to do that to myself.
Then you'd also go off on, you might be exactly the same. You would have lived your life up to that point, following that. But then you're going to have different experiences.
Yeah. Do you remember that episode of Next Generation where Riker gets another Riker? We've got an episode of this.
Yes, I do.
But there's two Rikers. And then new Riker, who got stuck on that planet for a few years, he's come back and he starts dating Diana, and old Riker's like a bit jealous. And in the episode, I remember I just couldn't help but thinking, I was like, there's no way both Rikers would. There would be a thing. There would be a three thing happening there, definitely.
No. Well, you think they would?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Riker and Riker would be up for it. I don't know about Diana, but Riker and Riker would.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So, also another point was, so I was thinking about Quark and that, and how I thought he was going to get saved, and yes, obviously he'd been tortured by Garrick and confessed, but I thought, she's like, give him a quick death. I was like, okay, so he's going off down the hallway. I thought there was going to be like a scene at the end where they jump in and rescue him, but no, Quark.
Straight
there
up
is
there.
no more Mirror Quark.
No, so, as you know, DS9 goes back to the Mirror Universe a few times. No more Quark. Did we get an evil ROM? I don't know if we get an evil ROM. Can't remember. But yeah, I do kind of like how doing a story like this gives them a chance to show characters in different light and just kill some off. So, we now have no Quark. We now have no Odo because he got Explodo.
He did. He exploded with enthusiasm all over the ceiling and walls and floor. I also remember in Next Generation when Tasha Yar dies from the big tar monster.
Oh yeah, the tar pit, yeah.
And in season 3, is it Yesterday's Enterprise?
Oh yeah.
I believe that she comes back, but she's like an evil character. Am I thinking of the right Tasha Yar? Oh no!
It happens twice. It happens twice. So she comes
back evil one time, but
yeah.
In Yesterday's Enterprise, she comes back and she.
It was like a time thing. Another ship's come for like a time portal,
that's right.
And they have to.
And Guinan sees her, and she senses instantly that this is not right. And Tasha Yar's like, "What's wrong, Guinan? What's happening?" And she's like, "You're
just wrong.
You shouldn't be here." And that's kind of like, I like how it's like a different universe, different tangent things have split, and this person's been brought back, and yeah, I just like that.
Yeah, because we didn't get any actual mirror universe in TNG, did we?
No.
We got the original series, DS9. Is there any in Voyager?
Not that I can remember.
I think they do it in Enterprise, definitely. Discovery, obviously, yes. I think that's it so far.
Strange New Worlds?
Don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I also don't think Lower Decks, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lower Decks does go there because that's the kind of show they would do.
Yeah. So overall, I thought this was a really well-made episode, well acted, and I was hooked all the way through. Just seeing the characters play completely different roles, you could actually believe that they were nasty in this mirror universe. Or in the case of Quark, actually really good. And for me, it was just a really interesting episode. And seeing, Miles obviously play this person that's never thought he could be good at anything, and finding out that in the other universe he's this chief of operations. Cisco finding out that, does he actually find out he's captain of the ship? I don't think he does. Does he?
He doesn't. Kira just says he's a good man.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Doesn't actually find out he's a captain. That might have changed his way of thinking.
He's a captain in this. Actually, no, because he's not a captain. He's a commander.
Commander.
He gets captain later.
That's it. I think it's season 5, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
When he gets to Defiant.
So Cisco finding out he's a commander of...
which is actually, I guess, a knockdown, because he's currently captain.
Yes.
He's a little pirate ship.
True.
Demotion.
Actually, yes. I'm thinking about it, but he'd have a bigger ship.
It's a space station.
He'd have a bigger station.
Doesn't go anywhere, though. It just floats.
No. So he probably could be convinced to, or maybe not, you can step down from your ship, your captain, you have all your men looking up to you, you can go to a bigger place, but it's a station and it's stationary and you can't go anywhere.
And you've probably got more responsibility, probably more paperwork.
Yeah.
I don't think pirates have much paperwork.
No. So thinking about it, he probably is best staying where he is. Then, of course, Odo, I don't think Odo finds out about what his other self is like, because Odo in this episode is just nasty. And no one tells him that you're actually a good guy in this other universe. You look out for people. You're the constable. I don't think he'd have cared either way. He would have carried on. Garrick, I don't think knew he was a tailor. Probably not the best time to tell him. Look,
he did have a line about when he first saw... when he saw Kira at some point, he's like, "Oh, I do enjoy a well-tailored gown."
Yes, but they should have taken that opportunity and been like, actually, you have very good tailoring skills.
Maybe, like, he does tailoring and as a hobby.
Maybe.
With, like, Quark's skin or something.
He's brutally sort of running the station for his day job, but at night time he plays, like, relaxing music, like a Cardassian opera perhaps, and he's there just tailoring. But he keeps it to himself. He doesn't want it to ruin his image. Well, not ruin his image, but, change people's opinion. So then we got Quark, and Quark, of course... In this one, I love that, the fact that he just seems a lot more selfless. He's not doing it for the money, or at least not the money that we know of. And yeah, that was really well played there. And he's gone. Quark is no more. Yeah, he is. I'm trying to think of something that rhymes, but can't.
Maybe he got put into a tank of sharks.
Maybe. So Quark was fed to the sharks. Quite dark. Anyway, enough luck.
Yeah, I also enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was fantastic to see all the actors play those like different versions of themselves. You could sort of tell they were all having a lot of fun with it. Like, there wasn't like much, in quotes, story with this one. There wasn't like any sort of big driving plot or anything like that. It was quite a simple, just look at what these characters are doing. Yeah, there was some good little bits in there. I really enjoyed it. It's just so much fun. I mean, yeah, this one easily stand up to a rewatch. Yeah.
You can tell the actors as well were enjoying it.
Oh yeah, they had so much fun.
You could just tell, it must have been so... They play these characters and they must play every single day. And now they're told, look, you are now playing someone that's the complete opposite of what you normally play. And I could just imagine being told that as an actor must be something quite freeing. And you can just really go for it. Like Sisko, I felt like he almost overplayed to start with this character, which is good in a way, because this, I don't know, he just came across as like overacting, but I quite liked that as well. It sort of fit this character.
Avery Brooks can overact a little bit sometimes. But yeah, like when he's like laughing in the bar, and Kira's like, I've got this news for you. You just believe it. He just sells it very well.
All things considered, from the humour in the episode, which there was at the start, I liked that. The seriousness of Odo and all the other Garrick, the Klingons, and everything just seemed to work very well and piece together. There didn't seem to be any loose ends, apart from obviously what happens to Quark, but I guess that's quite obvious. To me, it flowed very well, and it didn't feel like a 45-minute running time. So I would give it a 7.4. 7.4. 7.4.
Okay. 7.4. Yeah, that's quite a good rating, and I think I agree with everything you said. Like, this episode is so much fun. Is it one of the best Star Treks ever made? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to stick it in a top 10, but it's just a fun episode. Yeah, I think sort of the mid-7s is pretty good. Yeah, I'll up you a little bit. I'll go 7.5.
Okay, let's see who is closest.
7.9.
Really?
Wow. So I guess we rated a bit lower than IMDb.
I think it's better to play it safe, but that's a good rating.
It's a good rating, yeah. I know ratings mean quite a lot to you. Like when it's coming to film and TV, you tend to like things that are 7 or above. Like, you will watch things which are lower than a 7.
I will occasionally. I might push myself and think, look, this film I want to see, it's like a 6 point something. I'm like, do I? And I've enjoyed them, but more often than not, if I've gone below that, IMDb's rated like a 5 point something or 4 point.
Do you get the same the other way? Like if something's rated like a 9.5, but then it's just not for you. It's not the kind of content you want to watch.
Yeah, but I always recognise that it's a very well-made episode, but if I don't enjoy it myself, I just realise, I can understand people who rate it that way, but they're passionate about this particular episode because they like the series as a whole. If I don't like the series as a whole, I'm not going to like probably the excellent episode that stands out in it.
So now's the part of the episode where we select what we're going to watch next time. We've got our little spin generator up here, but before we do spin, Tom, are you aware that from Star Trek Day there's been a brand new show come out? I say show, it's only kind of a show. It's called The Very Short Treks.
I was not aware.
Cool. So, The Very Short Treks, they've been released on YouTube, and as of now, only one has been released. And, the short treks, they're like 5 minutes long, 6 minutes, some about 15 minutes. But the first episode of these Very Short Treks was like 3.5 minutes long. So it's one of those like, do we include it in this rewatch? Do we not? I'm inclined to put it in, even though it's only 3 minutes long. We probably couldn't talk that much about it. So are you happy to include these very short treks into our spin wheel, or do you want to leave them out?
I would include them. We're trying to include all treks. We don't want to be Trek exclusive, so we want to try and keep it to... Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to try and be inclusive to all varieties of Trek.
Okay, right. Well, in that case, so we've now gone up from 12 shows to 13. Oh, also on that note, as at this time right now, Lower Deck Season 4 is coming out, so we've got even more Star Trek to potentially watch. For now, we're going to just kick it off, spin for our show, and see where we land.
Spin that wheel.
Ooh, so we've got Prodigy. You've not seen any Prodigy, have you?
No.
There's a bit of a thing going on with Prodigy at the moment. So we have Season 1, and I've not been following it. There is a Season 2. I don't think it's been released anywhere yet. I believe it's made. Rather than where it's made, it's ready to go. But there's something wrong with the licensing, or Paramount dropped it, they don't want to do it anymore. So I don't know what's happening with Season 2. So for now, as far as I'm aware, there is only one season of Prodigy. So I guess that means we can skip the second wheel spin.
Yeah.
And just go straight to the episode of this cartoon. So yeah, you've not seen any Prodigy.
I have not.
No. So into the verse of the new Treks and the new animated Treks, we're going to Prodigy. Let's see what episode we get.
Number 1.
Episode 1.
Perfect.
Excellent. Which is actually, you say perfect for you who have not seen it. So you will get to watch that very first episode. Let's just pull up the name. So, episode 1 of Prodigy is Lost and Found. The young alien Dal finds a hidden Starfleet spaceship during the escape attempt from a mine planet. But who is still after the ship?
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I do remember this. Obviously, I watched it when it first came out. And I remember when I very first watched it, I was like, this is probably the most unique Trek I've seen. It's the most different Star Trek I'd seen. It doesn't follow any kind of format that you think of, having like a ship and a crew and going on away missions and what have you. And I did end up liking Prodigy, but it did take me a little while to get into it.
Yeah.
Just because it is such a unique format for a show. It is also a kids' show, so you have to sort of go with that in mind a little bit. But yeah, do you know anything at all about Prodigy?
Nothing.
Have you got...
Nothing.
Okay, so any thoughts on that little synopsis there?
I mean, for myself, it's just going to be interesting to watch a Trek that I'd never even heard of before. I don't know what time this takes place in. Is it pre-Kirk? Is it after Kirk? Is it after Picard? Before Picard? So it's going to be nice to go into it not knowing anything about it.
Thank you for joining us today on Warp Factor Unknown when we spoke about the episode Crossover, Deep Space Nine. We hope you will join us again next time when we discuss the episode from Prodigy, Lost and Found. My name's Daniel and I've been joined by my co-host, Tom. If you would like to contact us, please email us at warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. Again, it's warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. The intro music we used today was by Jeff Harvey, and you can find more of his music on Pixabay.